Hello, it's November 8th, 2012, and let me start by saying thanks for reading. You guys been amazing to me. When I started this blog, I wasn't even sure what blogs were or what they wanted to do with mine. I never dreamed that in just 5 short years I'd have such a large and loyal group of readers. Even you trolls, I thank you. Because every time I got a comment from you fuckers, my hit count goes up, it just adds to my revenue, and I collect from my sponsors. Each and every one of you who have read, liked, commented, or even flamed me has helped me go from just another college kid to a person making a living doing what he loves, writing. Anyways, I'm saying all this because I wanted to announce I'll be moving to a new URL started in 2 weeks. I decided today that my next large post will be on the new blog. However, today will be my last post on this blog because there's going to be a ton of work involving my next venture. I'll be joining the ever-expanding ranks of the professional bloggers known as newviews.org. I cannot say enough how thrilled I am to be working with these amazing people. Blogging never felt like a real job before. Even with the ad revenue I'm gathering now, it never felt like I was, doing a job. Now I feel like I found my calling. I'll be writing the same stuff I've always written, but now it's actually a job. My old content will still be at this URL, but new content will be available at http://caffeinehead.newviews.org. I'll be starting in about 2 weeks. I'll be blogging about as often as I can, but it will not be here. It will always be there. I wanted to move my entire back catalog with me, but apparently there are some political and potential legal snares that may happen if I do so, and it might work out to be something that would be a rather expensive venture. So loyal readers, please bookmark the link above and make sure to share it with everyone you know. And maybe you can spread it to people who may have not have read my page before on a more sporadic level. So, please send this message. That's all I have to talk about today, but once again, I wanted to say sincere thankful to all of you who loved my sexy little blog. I can write all day until my fingers is numb, but a blog is nothing without its readers. So, from the bottom of my heart, I thank all of you. This is Caffeine Head. Hello guys, it's November 22nd, 2012. Well, here it is, officially. Caffeine Head's page on newviews.org has gone live, and some of you may think just because I've moved, I'm gonna start holding back punches from my viewpoints as, well, stabs to some people. But really guys, the fantastic folks at newviews.org would not have wanted me if they didn't want my opinions. So if you thought I was gonna start pulling my punches or changing my opinions, think again. And sorry trolls. Then again, I'm not so sorry. Not really, you aren't either. You come here because you are entertained by me. I know you do. So there's no need to lie about it. Last week, I'm sure many of you have heard that the lie-spreading waste timer known as Wikipedia got hit with a massive hack and has been offline for 48 hours. I want to stress that I was not involved with this hack. Although, I have nothing but love for the hackers who accomplished it. Hopefully soon, the web's most infamous deceit factory will be completely unable to spew its lying, man-spreading filth. And I'm not in contact with the hackers either, but I wanted to let you know that your next targets should be snoops.com. As I'm sure many of my readers know, I cannot believe how easy it is to just to simply mislead people. So many people at once. Make a website, get some views, suddenly you're an authority. Wikipedia allows its readers to generate content. How do they know that the content that is being generated is just not simply a lie? Sure, they have to provide citations, but a citation can be just a link to another lying website like Snoops. How do I know Snoops is a group of lying scumbags? Simple, just go check their page on Impetus Sand. They say that Impetus Sand is a myth, a fraud conducted by a conspiracy theorist. Folks, you know how ridiculous that is? I've seen Impetus Sand in action with my own eyes. I'm certain you all have as well. In fact, just the other day, I was speaking with a man while riding a bus, and it hit me halfway through the conversation that I was speaking of a man who did not exist. He might have existed once, but no longer. He was a construct being formed from impetus sand. What tripped me off? At one point, he stopped mid-sentence, blinked his eyes, and sort of started his entire sentence over again. Some infection and everything. He had reset himself. I see it all the time, but you wouldn't believe me. Just check out this link at http://optimumscience.net/archive/10/06/05/the_impossible_polymer. And you'll have a look at what Dr. Magnus Elson has to say about this. He looked at the impetus sand under a microscope. Oh my god, I can't pronounce things right. Microscope, if you will. Wonder how long it'll be before the government makes him disappear. Anyway, my point is that sites like Wikipedia, Snoops, Dodge.com, and others exist mainly to keep us coddled with wool under our eyes, never questioning the official fucking story. Even if Google gives you hits, they want you to be what most people see first. They have created a generation of people who will only believe something from reputable websites to tell them that it's true. What is true anymore? It's certainly not. It's a verifiable fact, but because there's nothing verifiable on these sites to give us, well, stuff like impetus sand is proven, is verifiable, but you don't catch that on the sites I'm talking to you about. Anyway, my name is Caffeine Head, and hopefully you'll see me fairly soon. Hello, it is the first month of the year. I hope you guys have been enjoying my content. This is January 2nd, 2013, and also Happy New Year. I hope you guys didn't get too drunk before last night, because your friendly neighborhood blogger may have just a wee too much of my uncle's patriotic North Dakota sour mash to spew out today. And well, yesterday I didn't have the will to write. It was not a great Christmas season for me, and I don't have any fear for telling you why. Most of you know that I've gotten death threats before, and to be honest, I'm proud of them. Death threats mean that I'm doing something right. They consider me a threat. But over the Christmas season, the threats started being launched at my new employers at newviews.org, including a virus that got sent to my boss's computers. The link provided last week at optimumscience.net is down now. And in fact, when I Google Magnus Elson, I got 0 hits. They've fucking done it. They have unpersoned him. Great job. Wow. I have little doubt in a few months he or something similar will return to his job as though nothing happened, and will deny any such thing as impetus sand existing. But it won't be him. Not really. His wife will call him the same man. His kids will call him daddy. But we all know that he's just a construct. They will want to shut down the blogs like mine telling the truth. If this blog and others like it weren't out there spreading the truth, they could just keep saying anything that they wanted to say. What's really going on behind closed doors within these secret offices of the government, and the public will gladly lap it up. Of course, plans are being taken to ensure that they can't find where I am. There are about upteen different proxies and redirects surrounding my IP address, which changes every day. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to work at newviews.org. But it appears they've managed to infiltrate our offices somehow. I'm going to be speaking to the CEO of newviews.org to ensure this sort of thing can be prevented in future. I'm also going to refrain from posting links to my new blogs from now on. If I have something to share, I'm now only going to do it through private messages. This way, I will be able to ensure that the people clicking on my links are actually interested in reading what's there. I've also decided that I'm not going to put up a new post until I can be assured that newviews.org security team has my anonymity thing figured out. I thought it's so hard to maintain, and I will not be compromised. I'm sorry for the lengthy silence from me, but I'll be back. I promise. This is Caffeine Head. Hello guys, it is March 15th, 2013, and I had an interesting conversation with my brother-in-law today. He likes a good conspiracy theory himself, or at least he used to. Today, he seemed to be different, more withdrawn. I brought up my old posts on the Orpheus device, which, as some of you may remember, cast a field over you so that you are literally a walking radio to them. You don't have to use a cell phone or speak in a place where the technology is around. All you have to do is speak. Of course, I have screens up around my house which filter out sound and add a white noise to anything they try to see here, so we're safe to talk. But he acted like he didn't want to talk about it. He even seemed confused when I mentioned that I had moved my blog from my old site to this one, almost as if he didn't know what the fuck a blog was. Though, I know he's read it before. In fact, he's far from the first person who started reacting strangely when I talk about my latest online discoveries. Yesterday, a neighbor gave me the strangest look when I mentioned Wikipedia, as if she's never heard of it. What do you guys think? You really gotta wonder what's happening. Why would they be hiding these websites? I don't know. Anyway, side note. For those of you who might be wondering, yes, I've spoken to the security team at newviews.org, and they can assure me that their network has been all tightened up, and there have been no incidents to any other contributors on the site, or the site itself. So, back to business. This is Caffeine Head, signing off. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is March 26, 2013, and it's become increasingly clear to me that my friends and family have all been gotten to. I don't think all of them have been replaced with constructs, though I know a few have. This is of mild concern because it makes me feel like they're closing in on my location. My wife started acting abnormally when she switched to a new moisturizer. I don't know how many times I've warned her not to do that. In fact, pretty much the only hygiene products she used to use have no longer been being bought, and she seems to be doing weird things. Nano seeds aren't everything these days. The more you use it, the more you'll likely have in you, altering the way you think, getting into you to suppress the desires to think about too much of what you hear, what you read. I'm sure everyone, maybe they have nano seeds in me. I know it's unavoidable. I tried for a few months with refrigerating jugs of tap water and only drinking that, but I kept running out of the boiled stuff. I need to keep drinking something, so I break down and I have a glass of water straight from the tap, and I do my best to construct whatever, I do my best to counteract any nano seeds I might have. But, oh god, it's hard to even enjoy my life anymore. In fact, even today, I find myself just plain tired of having to worry about everything like this. I find myself wanting to say, screw it, take down my screens, cancel my blog, and just live like the other sheep. After all, would it be so bad? I know it would improve my marriage, it would improve my relationships in my neighborhood, but that's not the me thinking that. You see? It's the nano seeds. In fact, I think those nano seeds started to convince people that the things I blog about, even the stuff about, that other websites and knowledges are true, that don't actually exist. My wife blew up at me the other day during an argument telling me that there's no such thing as newsmax.com. She honestly believes that no such website exists. I offered up to fire my laptop to show her, and she just yelled me, "There you go, the laptop bullshit again." She didn't even want to look. My brother-in-law won't even speak to me anymore. He might be a construct now. But if he were, he wouldn't be trying to. He wouldn't be trying to influence me away from my so-called delusions instead of breaking up contact. No, I don't think they've gone to him. I think he's just becoming more afraid of what they can do. This is Caffeine Head, and I'm signing off. Hello guys, it's April 7th, 2013. I'm becoming troubled in regard to my new employers. I signed in with newviews.org because it was clear they knew and understood the dangers of the items I mentioned frequently on my blog, the Orpheus device, impetus, sand, nano seeds, even acknowledging that the biggest and most frequent news site online are all owned and managed by the same group. They're only reporting items they approve. Lately, though, I'm not too sure what newviews.org hasn't been bought. I was recently warned about my content. My content hasn't changed in 5 years, so I don't know why they would hire me if they think they can make me say different things from what I believe. I'm not going to back down, though. I think it's important for people to know this stuff. There were so few of us who can discover the truth. So many of us would just rather swallow their polybium they're given just to go to get along with those other sheep. I thought newviews.org would help me spread the word. I'm starting to wonder if they're a part of the problem. This is Caffeine Head signing off. Hello, guys. Caffeine Head here. It is April 14th, 2013. This will be my last post on newviews.org. A representative of theirs called me today. He didn't even have to tell me. I could hear it in his voice. He was a construct. I'm done with this company. I'll be registering a new URL soon. I've already reserved it, so my readers, if any of you can actually still see my content, can find me at the iknowtoomuch.com. This is Caffeine Head. Hello, guys. It's, I don't know. God, I haven't looked at a calendar in forever, but, Anyway, guys, it's May 12th, 2013. Tell me something, people. You can see my posts, right? You have computers, right? You surf the net, right? I have to ask, as my wife told me today, with my delusions, that she was talking to me about seeing someone. That she would prove to me once and for all that this silly thing called the internet was not real, and that in fact computers are just giant machines only the government and prestigious universities can use, so the idea of a laptop was absurd. She told me that my laptop was only a briefcase. It's happening. They're unsponsoring. They're unpersoning me. Thursday got me questioning myself on the blogger stuff, wondering if nanoseeds, impetus, sand, and Orpheus devices even existed. And now, they're making me question if I have readers on a blog or so much as a computer. I refuse myself to question it. My wife's the delusional one, not me. She let more nanoseeds get inside of her. That's right, it's that new moisturizer brand. It's not gonna work. They're not gonna unperson me. Caffeine Head out. Hello, guys, it's June 1st, 2013. Out of nowhere, I got an email from my brother-in-law. He wants to meet me, discuss a few things he's learned, and make sure I can't defend myself. He apologized for disappearing, but he explained to me that he realizes being followed around on a daily basis by a man who's doing their best to look innocuous, but we're always there every time he examined his surroundings. I hope this isn't a trick. I'm gonna meet with him today. I'm truly afraid. This isn't what it seems. If it all goes well, I'll blog about it later. If I don't post again, you'll know they finally got to me. Hopefully this won't be the last time of Caffeine Head signing off.
Thanks for showing us this, Mrs. Lehman.
It's so strange, Dr. Winthrop. My husband was a normal man until about 5.5 years ago. Then he started talking about these strange things like laptops and blogs and this internet web thingy. He would stare into his open briefcase, and I finally looked at what was in there. That's when I found his journal. He actually thought people were in his briefcase talking to him.
Not talking to him, Mrs. Lehman. Reading what he supposedly wrote and replying. We've seen this delusion in others, a sort of mass psychosis which affects only about 1 out of 100 people. But the delusion they share is so real to them that when they discuss it with each other, you could almost believe they're talking about something real. Of course, in most cases it's harmless. They just think they're getting the latest updates on their favorite singers or actors. They think they're sharing photos or brief statements with each other. But in other cases, such as her husband's, the delusion turns paranoid. But rest assured, your husband will get the treatment he needs.
Thank you, Doctor. You have no idea how relieved I am to hear that.
Patient is secure, and his synaptic patterns are being loaded into our machines as we speak. We'll have new impetus sand simulacrum created for him by tomorrow. Layman believed his screens protected him from our Orpheus devices, and that his brother-in-law believed him, when in fact Don Orton had been our agent from the beginning, as some of you reading this might already know. Orton managed to work around Layman's efforts to alert Linda, Orton's sister and Lyman's wife, of our existence. Her nanoseeds have convinced her that she has delivered her husband into psychiatric care, and that the internet, even laptops, do not exist. It may be necessary to program all nanoseeds to make their targets believe this within the next 5 years, as more and more websites like newviews.org are springing up. I recommend, once again, cutting off the source of such sites rather than simply taking over each site as we discover them. Linda Layman is the 1,395,983rd individual we have had to reprogram to believe the internet does not exist. Eventually, one of them will say the wrong thing and alert more people to our presence.